Good morning. Right, today's job is to fit the Truma diesel heater. So yeah, it runs off of diesel and it runs off of 230 volt mains and 12 volt. I've got the location in the back of the van. I don't know if you can see that. But I couldn't fit it until I kind of built the bench seating, just to make sure I knew its like location and that it was going to fit okay. So today's job is I've got to fit the exhaust pipe to it. Kind of been putting this one off because I've got to drill a hole in the side of the van. It's an 83mm hole, so I'm just working out now exactly where I'm going to drill that hole, and then yeah, we'll crack on with it. I'll go into a little bit more detail of where I've run the diesel line and how I've got power from my electrical setup. But yeah, today is just let's get the exhaust in. So this is its location at the back of the vehicle. It is quite tight with the wheel arch and my bench, but it does fit. So now I'm just working out a location for the exhaust to go out. It needs to be a minimum of 600mm in length that is recommended for the diesel heater. It's to do with exhaust flow and the air intake, because it's got that's the exhaust and that's the air intake that feeds the combustion chamber, and then the other side you've got the ducts that give out the hot air. So yeah, I'm going for my location for the exhaust to go in there. Right, I've got my hole saw and marked it all up, so now I'm just going to cut it. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to this bit, but I'll give it a go. I just want to see where that's come through the sides. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's go with that. One hole. Let's hope it's in the right place. Okay, that's the hole cut. I've filed it down and put some Sika primer on it. So now what I've got to do is I've got to fit the outer cowling exhaust to the side of the van. So I'll do that now. There you go, one exhaust fitted for a Truma diesel. Okay, that's the exhaust. It's cut down. It's still 600 plus millimeters in length. That's the requirement for the heater to work. So now I've just got to fit this end and put the panel back in. I'm gonna fit the fuel pickup, so it's the auxiliary fuel pipe that will feed the diesel heater. I got it from MAN. So this is the part. That's the part number, just in case anyone would, I don't know if I can focus on that, if anyone would want it. But you've got the pickup, and then it's just shaped, so if you want to run it along the tank, and then you can add your fuel pipe to the end. So that's that. And I'll show you underneath. So all you need to do, I don't know if I can show you much under here. So lower the fuel brackets. There's 3 brackets that hold the fuel tank up. You can lower it enough just to get up to the fuel sender. Leave the front bracket on, because then you can just lower the tank. See if I can show you up what it looks like. And all you do then is snip one of the nibs off. It's a spare one, and then you can go straight onto that. And I've already done that. I don't know if you can see the black fuel pipe, and then it runs down, and I'm going to run it over the chassis. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's a bit tight, but that's in, and then I'll work out where to. Yeah, then I'll work out where I'm going to run my diesel pipe from the diesel heater. It's just going to be taped, or not taped, it's going to be like cable tied along one of the chassis beams underneath, and then I'll tap it into that fuel pipe that I've just fitted. Right, that's the Truma diesel heater all fitted. I'll show you the setup that I've got. So all I've done at the moment is I've installed everything, and I've done the first like prime to get the diesel up to the heater. So now I'm going to start it up for the first time. But before I do that, I'll show you my setup that I've got. Okay, so that's the diesel heater in, and then I've set all the water up from the water tank. So the water comes up from the fresh water. It goes, there's a little filter just to filter any of the if there's any dirt or debris in the tank. Then it goes into the water pump, and then into the accumulator, and that just maintains pressure. So if the pressure drops, the pump doesn't have to keep running every time that the pressure drops down. And then we've got a cut-off valve. You can't really see it down there, but there's a valve there, so I can isolate all of the water coming into the van. And then I've got 2 cold feeds. One cold feed runs down, and it goes into the frost protection. So if it's if the temperature drops below about 4 degrees, I believe, this will open up and it will dump all the water from the diesel heater. There's a one-way valve, so that will stop water or hot water once it's warmed up coming back down into the cold system. So this cold one runs into the Truma heater, and then it comes out as the hot, and then the hot tees off, because I've got an outside shower, so that tees off to the outside shower, and then I've got the hot run that runs all the way down, and then it will go up into the van, into the shower, and into the kitchen sink. And again, I can isolate that And then this is the cold feed for the outside shower. So then again, that just runs down. And then I've got the outside shower, so you can have hot and cold just by turning this lever, or you can take the lever all the way out and then you can shut it down. But that's just set up there for a minute. I've installed the freshwater tank already, so I'll get underneath and show you. It's a 180 litre water tank. I don't know how much you're going to see under here, but that's the water tank. I don't know if you can see. And I filled it up, and that's the back of the tank. So yeah, so it's a pretty large tank. That's so you can drain the tank, and there is a valve. There's a valve there to drop the water out. But yeah, I don't know if I can zoom back a little bit. That's the water tank. At the back of the van is where I've got the fresh water. It's a pressure fill system. So this is the back of the van, and underneath, I didn't want to see like a filler cap on the side of the van. So you just connect your hose pipe to that, and then it's a pressure feed, and then that water pipe runs all the way down, and then it tees into the freshwater tank, and then the other pipe that comes back is the one that goes up into the van to feed the van with water. Okay, this is my 90 litre grey water tank, so that needs to be fitted in the van. It's got these brackets, so you can screw it to the chassis of the van. It's got the hole there for the sender unit. I'll show that in a second. And then it's got a drain tap, so you can open it up to drain your grey water. I've wired in the sender unit, and I'm just doing a test on it. So that's the sender unit. I've put it, I don't know if you can see in the sun. So that's the sender unit. I've just set it halfway up so I can go and have a look at the monitor. So then that wire runs all the way back to the Servo GX. Yeah, that's... The sender unit's 0 to 180 ohms. I believe that's like the European spec. So when you come into the van, if you open up, that way up. So that's showing the fresh water, and that's showing the grey water. So where I've set that sender unit, so now that's showing the position, and it's saying 67% full. I think you can calibrate it for the different shapes of tanks, but I'm not sure how to do that, so we'll do that another day. Okay, I'm going to fire up the diesel heater for the first time. I did the initial prime. I believe you only get like 2 attempts, and then it locks you out, so I'm really like fingers crossed that this one it fires up. So I've got my screen, so we'll just turn that on. So that's loading up, and then it will give you your options. So I think the first thing would, what's that saying? That's okay. All right, so we want heating, and it's on diesel. You can have it. All right, well you can run it. So you can run it on diesel only or electric only, or you can have it on a hybrid where you can have electric and diesel. But we're just going to go diesel. So I'm going to go diesel for the first one. It's making some noise. So that's the fan running. Hopefully we'll hear the diesel pump running. I'll go and show you that quickly. Okay, so I fitted the diesel pump for the Truma diesel. It's just by the sliding door. Where is it? Oh, there you go. It's clicking. Okay. So that's the diesel pump. You have to fill it at a bit of an angle. I think that stops air leaks. So that's just behind my diesel tank. And then you can see that that was the fuel pipe from the sender unit, or from the pickup of the diesel tank. And then that's my diesel pipe that runs all the way back to the Truma diesel. And that's working. Alright, I think it's up and running. So I've got some vents. I've got one on my bench seat. I'll have one vent coming into the shower. That one at the back then runs round to, I've got the plinth at the front of the van where the seat is. And then I've got another vent down here. Alright, it's warming up. Oh, that's cool. It's up and running. So that will do our hot air heating, and it will do our hot water. I believe it's a 10-litre water tank. Probably about half hour to warm it up. You have got different settings. So let me show you this again. Okay, so it's been on a while. And we've got the water temperature up to 42 degrees. So if you unlock the screen, go to hot water, you can turn it on, and you've got different settings. So you've got an eco setting, comfort setting, and a hot setting, and there's a boost button. I believe it gets it up to, I think it's 50 or 60 degrees. Again, I'll have to double check that. Yeah, so that's all up and running. Don't think we need it on hot. Let's keep it on the eco. And then back to the home. It's all Bluetooth, so you can have it on your phone. Don't know if we got to set up. Right, well that's the diesel heat all up and running. So we're getting somewhere. You can hear it running. Right, and I've got to check the hot water. So I've got the outside shower. I'll put it on hot, see what we get. Yay, hot water. As you can see, the steam. Nice. But I do need to turn the water pump on. Lovely hot water. Okay, I'm going to leave this video here for the Truma heater. It's all installed, it's all up and running. So like I said, we've got hot water and we've got hot air, so it's doing well. I've run it for a few hours and it all seems to be operating fine, so that's fine. So next week I'm going to do the video on my full electrical install. That's from the first, like installing all the cables, down to the electrical, like the brains of the operation, all the batteries, the inverter, and then on the home screen. So next week I'll give you a full video of how I've set up all my electrics, and how it's running into the control panel, and you'll see all the wiring, all my switches. I've got two-way switches for different lighting circuits.